I'm so excited because you said the guests are great, and I can't wait to meet them. So, will you do the honors?
Yes,
will you introduce our guest today?
Yes, I will. And you will love it because you just will love it.
I know.
That's
I see a little bit here, so get them out here so we can talk to them. Hello.
So, ladies and gentlemen, and Miss Prairie Ann, please help me welcome from the County of Martin and the City of Dunnell, Michelle and Tim.
You have outdone yourself.
I know.
I can see. This is going to be so much fun.
I know, and they're from Dunnell.
From Dunnell, that's what we hear.
Yeah.
And then she's also said that there are. Well, first, who's your beautiful little gal you have with you? What's her name?
This is Lorelai, our granddaughter.
Welcome to the show.
Yes, she's here to help us tonight.
She's very fashionable.
She is very fashionable.
I really like it.
I like that. Ooh la la.
So, as we said, Dunnell. Do you live actually in Dunnell or outside of Dunnell? I already know the answer, but not everyone knows.
It has to be outside because you told me they had grapes,
Yes.
Paris. How long have you had grapes?
Well, actually, to answer Paris's question, we have an acreage about a half-mile north of Dunnell on Highway 4. We planted our first grapes in 2008. So they've been in the ground for 6 years. Yeah, that's correct.
Starting to produce grapes now.
I was just going to say,
It's a while.
Typically takes about 5 years before you can start harvesting grapes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so that you're kind of right at the. How many vines do you have?
Well, actually, we have 600 vines in the ground right now of 4 different varieties, all winter hardy, developed by the University of Minnesota.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Right. To make it through last winter, wow.
We have 2 red varieties, Frontenac and Marquette, and 2 white varieties, Edelweiss and Lacrosse.
Wow,
That's
Edelweiss,
right.
that sounds German.
It does, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
And you obviously you don't plant them all at once, don't you? You have to. Did you plant them in stages?
We
Isn't that how that
planted
works?
We planted in stages, yes.
Yeah. You can't get them all in the.
Yeah.
That's too much work
Oh
for
my
2
gosh!
people.
Yeah, 600. That's too much for 2 people over 6 years. That's 100 a year.
So now, with all this work you've put into it and planting the grapes, do you have a winery? Operating?
Well, we have just received our federal number.
Okay.
Oh.
Now we have to deal with the state and the county before we
So
can.
you're in the process.
We're in the
To be
process.
a
We are in the
full-fledged
process.
winery.
We did bring a bottle of wine along if
Oh,
you'd
yay.
like to taste
We
some.
would love to taste
You'd
it.
have a bottle of wine there?
Good thing that cousin
so
John.
Lorelai's your little
isn't
helper
in
there.
Oh, nice.
Good job, Lorelai.
Good
She's
thing that
gonna
cousin
pass
John
it.
does not have his little paws in this. 'Cause They would be
Exactly.
waiting forever for their paperwork.
Exactly.
Here,
This is from the Lacrosse grapes.
Okay.
just. There we go.
So who is the? Well, I was going to say the official taster, but I didn't know if that's.
We all taste
I
it.
can be the official taster.
And you grow, and you are also the winemakers, or do you have somebody?
No, Tim is our winemaker.
Yes.
Okay.
And,
Yes.
Okay,
And
because
so
I know
what's this one
sometimes they
called?
do that.
this is from the Lacrosse grapes, one of the white varieties.
Here's
But
to the
actually, Paris asked a very interesting question about making wine because it sort of leads into why we're really here tonight.
Yeah, that's interesting
Okay.
that you do grow and make your own wine.
Well, the history of our winemaking actually started in Greece.
Ooh, really?
Which is
That's what I've heard rumors that you take trips to Greece. Can you tell us more about that?
That
how
is like my
started?
favorite.
sure.
Well, back in 1974, we
Oh,
were
wow.
studying in London,
Nice.
and we had 6 weeks
London.
off over the Christmas break. And since Tim was a Hellenophile and wanted to go to Greece, we went to Greece.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
And you
So
just
probably-
decided to hop along. Why not, right?
Yeah, why not? I might as well go along, right?
exactly.
For the
You're
ride.
halfway there because you're in London.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you get to Greece, and then what happens?
We got to Greece, and of course, the place we had to go was to Mykenae, which is where the Golden Mask is, where Agamemnon is
Agamemnon,
from, and
All the good,
Clytemnestra, all the
good
history, if you
mythology.
know that.
Oh yes.
We went there, we stopped at the Xenia Hotel because that was, back then, that was a very big chain that was owned by the government. We figured that'd be a nice, safe place to stay. And they were just shutting it up for the season.
Oh,
so the manager said, well, let's take your things down to the village, and then there's a celebration in the next village, Monostraki. So let's go do that. I'll take you over there.
Wow.
Now, bear in mind, he had a little moped.
Yeah.
The three of us got on his
with
little
your,
moped.
with your luggage.
Well, we dropped that off in town.
Oh.
And that is where we met our lifelong friend.
Oh, wow.
All kinds of friends we
So
made
was
that
he
night.
the one driving the moped then?
No.
So once you got to the celebration, then you met the friend.
Yes.
We met the friend.
And from the celebration, how did you get to picking the olives?
Well, we
How did that
made
come
good
about?
friends, and he kept complaining that he had to go pick olives tomorrow morning.
I would be.
And Tim, of course, is, well, we can help.
You can help.
We can help.
Oh my
So,
gosh, awesome.
back in 1974, that's when we first picked olives.
Oh, yum. I bet they were just, they're magical, magically delicious.
An experience.
Wow.
What really hooked us on it was after we had picked the olives, we'd picked enough. They took it down to the press. It's a community press.
For the olive oil.
And we're going down to taste the olive oil. And
Nice.
and our friend gets very distracted, and he's off at the bakery, and then he goes home and he puts some wine in a plastic bottle. And we're going, Billy, I thought we were going to go taste olive oil.
Oh, wow.
Oh, we are.
Oh, he's getting supply, accessories.
So
basically.
we went to the press. He opened the spigot at the bottom and handed us a piece of this fresh bread and said,
Oh, wow.
And this is
Taste
literally freshly pressed.
Freshly
Just
pressed.
right
this
off
is
the old
still
olive.
warm.
Oh, wow.
And from
It was
that
so
moment
good.
on, you were
And from
hooked.
that moment on, we were hooked.
You were hooked. So from that point on your first trip, you went back each year after that?
It varied,
It varied.
but we
and then
went.
when did you decide to take groups over there? When did that start?
Yeah.
Very interesting. We can go into that, but how about why we do that? How about if you get some olive oil out for the ladies?
Yay.
Sure.
Yes, yeah.
Can you do that?
I
Okay.
certainly can with the assistance of
Yeah.
my.
You guys get it all fixed up, and Michelle will tell us the story.
It's kind of serendipity, but I was coming back from the cities, and they shut down the road. So
So it was a big snow,
Big
Minnesota
snow-
snow.
Minnesota, yes,
And
of
you're,
course.
you're driving.
And I'm
greeting
like,
the
oh, what do
breeze.
I do now? I'm south of Mankato.
Yeah. Oh.
So I happen to have the number of Tim's theater instructor from Mankato days, and I called to see if they had a room because all hotels were
Are
full.
booked, of course.
And they said, of course, come on out. And we proceeded to spend the balance of the time that we were snowed in talking about Greece.
Oh,
The next thing you knew, we were planning a trip with them
Oh,
to
wow.
take them over
Over
to
there
Greece.
and tour.
So it was kind of a trip of a lifetime because Tim speaks Greek, and we took them and we thought, well, you know, they're on the older side, so we'll plan a fast-paced trip and a slower pace. We did this super fast.
Oh, wow.
With them.
They
Yes,
did
awesome.
fantastic.
Oh,
They left
awesome.
us in the dust.
Yes, they left us in the dust.
Right.
So anyway, we showed them the community and, you know, where we had picked the olives and everything. And then we took them to the airport and they said, you know, they bragged about how wonderful that was. And they said, you guys have to start giving
Oh,
tours
nice.
and
Oh my
share
gosh.
this. And we're thinking, oh, we don't want to do that. No, Oh, he's got something
you
ready for us here.
decided-
But anyway,
Did-
well, Tim and I stayed a little bit longer than them. And we went back to see our friend in the village, Billy. And one of our other friends had passed away, so we went up to the grave just to kind of, you know, we said our piece, and then we went over to where the Xenia Hotel was, that hotel where we
yes,
first
yes,
went, okay?
yes.
And it has since shut down, but the structure was still there, and the view was still gorgeous. And we started talking with our friend, and he happened to say that he just didn't think he was going to harvest his olives that year because there were so many things going on. There weren't a lot there. It was an off year. The labor had gone up so much. The government wasn't paying them much for their olive
wow.
oil. Just, he had
A whole
Every-
a farmer.
A whole bunch of reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I looked at him at that moment. I looked at Tim and I said, well,
Billy.
Billy, if I bring people over to pick your olives, will you let us do that for some olive oil? And he goes, well, of course, Michalitza. My name over there is Michalitza. So of course. Really?
So how long did it
Oh,
take you to
wow.
get the trip together and people over
Well, this is 2010 when we took the professor and his wife. 2011 is when we took our
Oh,
first group
wow.
over.
Awesome. And was it a group of 12 the first time? Have you always taken 12 people?
Not
or
always.
just
We take
started out
whatever
with-
signs up.
Oh, really?
okay.
Okay.
Yep, yep.
And do they? I mean, they know what they're doing. You are harvesting olives.
You're
and,
harvesting olives,
living
yes.
like a Greek. Oh my gosh, let's sign up.
Yep.
I'm signing up.
And that's exactly
I am
what we do.
signing up.
Yep.
And is there a limit on how much olive oil you can bring home, or how do you?
Probably.
Well, we kind of worked out the agreement that everybody would get the plastic bottles, the 1.5 liters. Everybody got 2.
Oh
Okay,
wow.
for their efforts.
So we always told them their check bag to save extra room in there so they can bring their olive oil back.
So were you harvested them? Were you guys did the pressing as well?
We
Did you the
do
pressing?
about 3 afternoons of picking. We take it to the press, and the press is open. It's a community one, so it's open for 18 hours.
Oh.
You bring your olives in, they weigh it, they process it through, they weigh all the oil that comes out. After that 18 hours, everything's through the cycle, everybody gets their percent.
Oh
They,
wow.
Okay.
they
What
figure
the
it
way-
out. So that's what, well, we wouldn't get, but our
Right,
friend would
right,
get.
right.
Exactly.
Yep,
Exactly.
yep.
So these it's like a working farm trip. I mean, you read about those like in Ireland or England. Hey, come over here. It's a working farm. That's kind of what this is. Kind
Although
of.
we don't work.
Well, you don't work that way. It's
So
It is grease.
You
Grease,
need to
we're
taste
trying.
this.
So picking olives really isn't that hard, then you're saying?
Oh, no.
Or is
it's-
it hard?
No, you get a little rake, you put the tarp down below, you get
Yeah.
a
I was going to
rake.
say you kind of rake them off
You
the
rake
tree.
them off
don't
the
you?
tree.
Oh, okay.
And,
I would
and
be
Minnesotans
shaking them.
adapt very well to picking olives.
Oh, I'm
We
sure.
found it.
Are there bugs there?
Is there-
I mean,
certainly.
Not in November.
Not in November.
No.
Okay, you pick 'em
That
in
was my
November.
next. Yeah.
And what's the weather like in November? Is it
It's,
nice?
I would
Oh,
feel
that's really
comfortable in this.
Just like the
Seven-
okay,
70
70s.
degrees
Oh,
at night, it
degrees in
might
the
get
day.
down to 50.
Oh,
They
perfect.
think it's cold, we think it's gorgeous.
Yeah. perfect.
Kind of the
That
weather
is
we're
right.
having
Right
now.
That would be awesome.
That is really good.
I gotta have a taste, Paris. So you're gonna have to ask them questions. What? Taste the olive oil. It's your turn, or maybe we'll turn it right
So
over to
do you just go for the harvest then, or have people approached you and said, "Hey, I want to do a tour in April," or
Well, we've met people in Greece that have come over early that want to see a little bit more of the country, and we've met them.
That's
and,
what
and
I would
taken
want.
them
I
around.
would.
Yeah,
be
they come
like-
over early, we take them to do special things, and then on Saturday
Saturday.
is the time that we pick everybody up from the airport, and
Okay.
and we stay close and see sights around there. Sunday, you gotta go see the Parthenon.
Yes.
Plus, everybody's adapting to the time change and everything, so it works kind of nice. And then we take them to the village. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, in the afternoon we pick. In the mornings we go to some ruins or a museum,
Oh,
or there's a
gosh.
farmer's
Yeah.
market
That would
that
be
we
fun.
take them
Fun,
to.
wouldn't it?
Yeah, and then in the evenings you have to have
The wine.
the
Oh my
wine,
gosh.
the olive
Olives
oil,
and
the
the
beautiful
olive oil.
meal. We have
You
some.
have to.
You have.
You
Well,
have to. We have some of the meals in the village.
Oh,
Other times we'll take them out to the seaside and we'll sit there and eat seafood and
so what do
Enjoy
these?
them.
Because I assume are the groups from this area, or do you have them from other parts? Because
let's see.
my question
majority
is
have
how
been
did
from Minnesota, Iowa. area.
How-
How do people
Yeah.
find out, or is it just kind of
Word of mouth.
So far, it's been word of mouth. So.
Well, and I was wondering, because this is meat and potatoes country. I personally love the Mediterranean. I love the olives, the vegetables. I'm not a huge fish person, but I can become one if it's fresh. And olive oil. But how do they adapt? Because it is a different diet over there. How do they adapt?
You get your eggs fried in fresh olive oil in the morning.
That'd be good.
Nobody has complained about
Nobody's
that.
complained about the food.
You get wine in the evening. Yeah.
Or probably all day wine, right?
Well, you could if you wanted
Yeah.
to. They always have it out in the
Yeah.
field.
Well, it
but
is.
yeah.
It is. It's a very healthy lifestyle. So I was just wondering, is anyone looking for a good steak and baked potato, or are they like, yeah, I'm going to have the antipasto?
Most everybody that, like our first year, the gal goes, but I don't want the tour bus food.
See, that's how
Yeah.
I would be. Yeah, that's
And I said,
good.
don't worry, you won't
worry,
get it.
Get it. Oh, good, good, good.
We have one restaurant where the woman, who now is elderly, but she makes the best moussaka. So we have to go to her place for moussaka.
Okay.
And
know what that
you know,
is,
we
but it
we got to know the places to go, and and that's what we share with the people. And you make friends, and you roll into the village, and you know.
They probably
Within a
know
day,
when,
everybody knows
they
everybody's
know when you're
name.
coming. I bet they know when you're coming.
As a matter of
You
fact,
get up in the morning and
You know
go
the
for
work-
a cup of coffee,
yes.
and people are saying, hi Paris, hi Prairie.
and the work ethic that we have,
Oh, I bet
it
they love
goes
that.
with you over there. The very first time we brought a group, we walked out to the Grove, and our friend's wife was standing there. Oh my God, we're not going to get anything done today. She was just, and she spoke no English, but you could tell by the look on her face.
That she thought that your group were just slackers, huh?
Yeah.
Indeed.
And then you got the old Minnesota going. And
And then once everybody was told what to do,
They do it.
by the end of the day, she was counting the trees, and she says, "We got 21 trees down."
That is awesome.
She went up and down the street in the village telling everybody what fantastic
good.
workers we were. So,
See, that's a plus.
so they,
So when we go over,
yeah.
yeah, and now when we go over, everybody's like, "You can pick my olives if you like.
Pick olives, yeah.
My olives are ready."
well, and olive oil is, I mean, it's good. It's good for you.
Yeah.
Good to eat.
Tell us some of
inside
the
out.
benefits for viewing audience.
Benefits of the olive oil.
Of the olive oil?
How
Well,
healthy.
It's,
Everything just
well, it's an integral component of the Mediterranean diet, as Paris has been
Yeah.
alluding to, and well, along with wine, of course, and it's tastes good.
I was going to say, it has, I can't explain, fresh taste. That's the
It is
only
very
word
fresh,
that I
yeah.
could think of is
You
fresh.
get the dishes out.
and it kind of has a little flavor. This in particular, a flavor of its own. I mean, did you taste that? It kind of has
Yeah.
yeah.
And I know
you
that
said it's fresh, but it still has kind of a really good flavor.
kind of a rustic,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah,
Fresh
maybe
rustic
fresh
flavor.
rustic. Ooh.
And I know that you have different oils for like dipping versus cooking as well. See, I know a little bit about
But this
Okay,
is
so does that-
definitely for
for the-
dipping
the
in
dipping,
salads.
yeah.
Dipping versus cooking, is that a different type of olive then? Or what do you do different to the olive oil that you would use it for cooking versus dipping?
Well, actually, if you wanted to fry fish in olive oil, it's probably not a bad idea to go to Walmart. You know? But
Okay, because you
like-
don't want to waste your good olive oil on
No.
fish then, is what
Right,
you're saying.
not this, yeah.
But this olive oil, this is like your extra virgin. You know, you can't get any fresher because it's
Right.
right from the
Okay.
press.
Okay.
Anything you buy in the stores around here is going to be at least 2 years old.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I
That
did
was
not
my
know
next
that,
question.
yeah.
Is it better? And I assumed
And
it was better, right?
I just want to
got it.
make you guys a very special treat. We've got some Kalamata olives here. Of course, we've got the tomatoes and onions
And
already.
of course, the
Do you
olive
bring
oil.
the olives home? Just olives home too? Fresh olives, or can't you do that?
Well,
do that, yeah.
you can do that, but those are gone.
I didn't know if there
Sorry.
was some,
Yeah.
restrictions
Yes, there are.
bringing olives into the country, or
No, you can bring them
You
because
can
they're
bring 'em.
canned. They're-
Okay.
And then here
Oh,
we
they're
are
canned.
with the feta cheese.
okay. Oh,
And then,
yum.
Tim, do you want to get the spice out?
It's right here, honey.
Oh,
and that-
Paris, you did so well.
Did I not tell you these were? Who would have known? This is like the best kept secret. That's something not. I mean, we started out with people growing grapes, and we ended up with them
Exactly,
taking people
trips to Greece.
to Greece to
And
pick
olive
olives.
oil.
I know how
Paris,
awesome.
you are so cosmopolitan. I
I
never
know.
believed it
I
when
don't
you
even-
told me.
I don't even have to try.
You don't even have to
I
try.
don't. It
Look
just
at who you
comes-
found
I
right
know.
here in Martin County.
I know. It's
Wowza.
this close, small town, and look at all this
Small
stuff.
town living at its best.
Exactly. Isn't that what we
There
say?
we go.
Exactly. Oh, look at there.
And you know-
Beautiful, Michelle.
So
Oh, she-
come to
Enjoy.
Greece with us.
So
Oh my gosh,
what is
to.
this term in Greece for, like, wonderful time, or what do you use? Like,
Kalotaxidi.
Say that one more time.
Kalotaxidi.
Kalotaxidi.
Paris, I can't thank you enough for
I
having
know.
Tim and Michelle and Lorelai on today. It has been just fabulous.
Villa
hasn't it?
Rustica. I
And
know.
you're so cosmopolitan.
I
I never
know.
knew you had it in you. You keep telling me that.
I
and
don't
I'm
even
like,
try.
"Oh,
It's just an act. It's just, yeah. I know. These guys are the best kept secret. Are you not the best kept secret? In a
We are,
the tiny town of Dunnell. Olive oil. wine, a vineyard in the makings.
Yeah.
And we do have olive oil for sale in the bottle.
Yay.
And trips to Greece.
And trips to
trips to Greece.
And if you want to find out about them,
Yeah, tell us how we can find out more about you.
You can look us up at Villa Rustica on Facebook, or you can get a hold of
Our story.
our story. Thank you very much.
Everybody like them on Facebook.
right? I do.
Yeah.
I told you.
It's amazing.
I know.
Oh, dang, look it over there. I'm getting that wrap-up sign from that producer again. Oh,
I think
I'm
he just
sorry,
wants some of the
Tim
wine.
and Michelle and Lorelai. Thank you so much for coming in and being our guest. And we got to wrap it up.
I know. Let's do it.
So if everybody wants to look that way and help me wrap up the show, will you? Okay. And remember, everyone, we share small town stories with big town attitude, for we are the women of Sweet Swine County.
Bye-bye.